I really like this pattern, but I'm not sure it likes me. I'm going to talk you through my toile version of the Rowan trousers from Emporia Patterns. I also have my first and second version of the Hava jacket. I have one completed and one on the go. And then I've got something that I'm going to experiment with hopefully later today, and I'll show you what that's all about. So welcome to my channel. Oh, that was a bit high pitched. I'm Julie. This is Julie Sews Her Own Clothes. So today I'm going to try hard not to faff with my hair. I notice I do that a lot. I am wearing a little cardigan. This is, goodness me, what is it? What is it? It's the Marlowe. This is the short version of the Marlowe cardigan. I made it years ago. It's very soft and sloppy and comfy, and I'm wearing it over my Collins top from Friday Pattern Company. This is in a very soft model jersey that I got from First for Fabrics, and I'm wearing it with my simi skirt from Tammy Handmade. This is a needle cord, which is a bit of stash bashing because it's been in my stash for a really long time and I had quite a bit of it. So that's what I have on today. I'm going to start with the Rowan trousers. Now, earlier in the summer, I started a little bit of work looking at which of the barrel leg trousers might suit me, if at all. I had some great success with the chanterelle pants, and I had kind of a success eventually with the tilly and the buttons. Can't remember what they're called. I'll put it here. Then I thought this was the third pair that I wanted to try. These are more like a jeans. They're a fly front. The other two pair that I made are not fly front. They're elasticated pull-ups. And I really do like a fly zipper. So yeah, the line drawings, you can see they are very exaggerated barrel shaped, and I thought I'd give them a go. I measured myself and I came out as a size 10, but I sized down to a size 8 because I just felt like I didn't want that waistband being too loose on me. Now, I've got to say, there are things that I love about this pattern. I made them up as a toile just to check the sizing. I used the same stashing fabric as I did for my simi skirt, and what I really love about it, the fly zip, although bizarre instructions for the fly zip, I unpicked them twice and then just did them the way I normally do a fly zip because it just didn't fit with my brain. And I've got to say, the waist is a really, really good fit for me. The crotch rise, it was perfect for me. I really do love the details of the belt loops. It's a really nice deep belt loop on the back and on the front. I like that it has elastic in the back, so it kind of, when your size changes slightly, it gives with you, but the front is nice and flat. I really like the style lines. It's got a got two separate pieces on the front. I didn't top stitch because I had a feeling I would get fit issues, which I absolutely did. So I didn't want to have to unpick it and redo it if I'd kind of top stitched it down, so I didn't do the top stitching. It has back pockets, which, I mean, they're relatively short for the trousers, I think, and the front pocket is lovely and deep, so I really like the front pockets. I'm not a major fan of the back pockets. I would definitely lengthen them next time and make them a bit deeper. Gonna have to sort the lighting, bear with. I think that's a bit better. It's just one of those days where you don't know if it's going to pour down with rain, the sun keeps coming out, then heavy clouds, and it was just the sun just started bursting through my window, so I've had to cover the window area so it doesn't, yeah, it looks better now. So where was I? Yes, I do like the fly front. I really like those deep pockets. The problem I had was with such a great fit on the waist and the crotch. I really wished I took a couple of photos to show you, but the amount of fabric around my hips, my thighs, my inner thighs, I felt like Coco the Clown in them. There was just so much fabric, and I have come to the conclusion that my frame is a bit too straight from waist down for this barrel leg style to look really great on me, unless it's a very subtle barrel leg like the chanterelles. They are not overly accentuated in the shaping. I took 3 inches off the sides and they are still barrel legged on me. I took 1/4 of an inch from the inside because I'd had to take so much off the outside, I'd start to get drag lines. Then I got in a bit of a pickle with them because I just couldn't get the size right. I was getting to the point, if I had took everything out where I actually needed it, which was the back of the legs rather than the front of the legs, I would have ended up with a pocket opening up on the side seam, which, man, I got in such a state with it. I did eventually take quite a bit out of the side and out of the inside, and what I ended up doing, because I was getting so frustrated with it, I caught the side seam in the overlocker. I can't see where it is. Let me show you. Yeah, you can see it here. I caught the fabric in the side seam and I've created a bit of a hole. So what I need to do, actually, when I look at the length of them, they're either, as they are, I can turn them up here and they hit on this line and they will be full length on me. They're meant to be cropped. I have found to crop them where it looks cropped and not like I just made them too short, I need to go somewhere like here, which is quite a depth. Now that would mean that I am hemming where the hole in the side seam is. So I'm going to undo that side seam and see how I can fix them so that these are wearable. They're going to try and fix those hems today, and I'll take some photos if I get a chance to finish them today. But they're a work in progress in terms of finding the Rowans to fit me. That's as good as it's going to get. I'm not working on these anymore. I've chopped them down. I fixed the hem. This is my Rowans. My Rowans. I mean, they're not that, I mean, they're still, look, they are still super barrel. Lots and lots and lots of room, but a good fit here, like this. I'd like the pockets to at least hold my fawn in, not quite there. The shape isn't great because I've had to do so many alterations to them, but I think they're wearable and they need a good press, but they're wearable. They are cropped. They don't look like they're accidentally cut too short. I think they look intentionally cropped, and that's my update on the Rowans. Have you noticed my t-shirt's the same, just a different style? I thought it looked quite good when I was holding it up when I had the Collins top on. I thought actually that's a nice match. They go well. I'm going to come to the MeganNeilson Hava jacket. This was the one I wanted to try first because I bought the wrong size, I gifted that away, and then I finally rebought it. I think I mentioned in my last vlog, the quilted Hava is very much inspired. I mean, there's so many in the sewing community, but last year, Sequin Girly Sam, who you all know is a friend of mine, made 8 quilted jackets. I think she might be on to number 11 or 12 by now. She just keeps going with them. And I felt really inspired to give it a go. And when we were at the Knit and Stitch show a few weeks ago at Ali Pally, I bought this fabric from Rainbow Fabrics and I made my first Hava. And Annie is sporting my first Hava jacket. So I made the oh, has it got the versions in? Yeah, it has. So let me just show you first. I made View Ear, which is the top one here. I didn't line it because it has a different fabric on the inside. It's stiff. I've got to say that's the only thing that I found about this fabric. I absolutely adore this Indian block print on the outside. I quite like the stripes on the inside. I decided that the banding would just make it way too thick to get all of those layers, especially around where you catch the pocket. And can take it off, Annie, so you can have a proper look at it. Yeah, I didn't want to put that that neck banding all the way around because I felt like it would be really bulky here where the pocket meets the front and the side seam. I decided I would bind all the way around. I just bought a massive length of satin ribbon and used that as binding. I think it was actually satin ribbon binding, and I did it all the way around the jacket and the bottom. I did it along the pocket edging, and I added the ties because it's a little bit stiff. Now, I was chatting with Sam about this the other day, and she suggested I put it through the wash with some white vinegar, which I'm going to try because I did that with some stiff linen that I had, and it definitely softened it up. So I'll give that a try. But as it stands, that's the only problem I have with this jacket is the stiffness. And because it's like a grown on sleeve, it's not shaped, and therefore it's slightly bulky around the arm, where the arm joins the jacket. I do think with wear that will definitely soften up and be much more flexible and sit nicer, but at the moment it's a little bit stiff. Now, because I wasn't lining it and I didn't want to add bias binding and create even more bulk on all of the seams, what I did was I graded the seams so that the inside fabric was longer. I graded back the outside fabric and the wadding. It's actually, the wadding is quite stiff, which is what's given it its structure. And then I turned it in and hand stitched everything on the inside. Now, my thumb is paying the price for that because it was hard work holding it in, stitching it down. But I like how it has turned out, and it just eliminated that extra layering of fabric on those seams. I mean, some of the seams are neater than others, but actually because of the stripe, I think it's okay. I think I've gotten away with it, and it did help to keep those seams a bit flatter. So I was quite pleased with that. Because it's such a thick wadding, I was able to hand stitch all of those seams down without any of the stitches coming through to the outside, which kept it nice and neat. And I took quite a bit off of the length of the arm because I wanted to bind it and not have it turned over as a cuff. I don't know. No, they're not turned over on the pattern. But a lot of them have kind of left them really long, so you can turn them up and show the inside of the fabric. I didn't want to do that on this version. But actually, I really like it. And once I get that stiffness out of the wadding and it's a little bit more pliable, I'm going to try it on and show you. I think it's a really lovely jacket. The only thing I would say, if you are adding the ties, is triple check that when you place your ties, you make sure that those pockets line up nicely. Otherwise, I think it would look a little bit odd. So yes, I really took my time and made sure that I hand stitched them down before I added the binding to make sure they were in the right place. But in terms of the jacket and how it looks, here it is, and you can see when I fasten these ties, the pockets are aligned and they're not skew-whiffy. And can you see what I mean about it? Actually, I think Karen from So Little Time had made a Hava and found this same thing, that it was a little bit sticky out, but I think that will ease as I wear it. I mean, the fabric is lush, isn't it? Look at those foxes and the owls. I love the colours. I think they are a great colour combination for this time of year. And this, I think, is the bit that bugs me, but I do think it will relax once I get some wear into it. And what you can do is put a nice thick jumper underneath it as the weather turns even colder. So that is my first Hava. You can see I made the straight length. and collarless. I didn't want the collar on. I thought it might be too bulky to add the collar. And that is Hava quilted jacket number 1. And I think that was quite a good success. In terms of the sizing, let me check what size I did. So the size is on this one, because there's a second version. This is 0 to 20, size 0 to 20, with a bust of 32 to 46 inches. Now I went for a size 2, which is the 33-inch bust. My bust is 37, but the finished garment says it's a 26. It's still big on me. You could see I've got plenty room in there. Did I make a size 2? Oh no, let me correct myself there. I didn't. 0, 2, 4, 6. I made a size 6. What am I talking about? I made a size 6, which is the 35-inch bust, and I'm a 37, but on the finished garment, it's a 46 bust / waist / hip. I made the size 6 in the Hava. I then couldn't wait to get started with jacket number 2, and I used this fabric that I also got at the Knit and Stitch show. It's actually, if you remember, if you have been following me, it's a quilted jersey fabric. It's got much softer wadding. It's not a solid wadding. I think if I show you here, it's like, this is the difference. It's got a thin layer at the back, but the wadding is like this. It's super light and it's like that. So it comes like that, and it's softer because it's not a solid block of wadding like this one is. So I decided to go for a different version, the same length. I quite like the length of that jacket, but I decided I wanted to try View B. Now View B has got the curved bottom rather than the straight bottom of View A, which I did, and it's the mid-length quilted jacket with pockets, binding and optional ties. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to do, but I then started to deviate a little bit. So this is the Hava number 2. I found that with just the quilted jersey, it was a bit too lightweight. It didn't feel like the type of snuggleness that I wanted, so I added a lining. Now, a little bit risky in that I have a stretchy jersey quilted fabric on the outside, and I have a cotton on the inside, but actually I just thought, give it a try. What's the worst that could happen? You have to unpick it and add that to something else. So I gave it a try. This, I think, was from my Beyond the Pink Door subscription box. I've also got this fabric in a dark navy with this lovely brownie gold design on it that I'd already purchased from Fabric Obsession. So yeah, I had 2 lots, so I thought, give it a try. So I fully lined it. I still have the arm with a hole in it, in the same, not a hole, but an unstitched part of the same which is what I use to bag it out. So it is fully, all of the seams are enclosed all the way around. What I do need to do is to stitch the lining to the jacket along the side seams and then use the quilted design. I want to quilt the front to the back because it feels like I've got two separate jackets on when I wear it. And then I'm going to bind it all the way around so that I have some of this inside fabric peeking through. I mean, it is peeking through because I need to stitch it down, but I have my bias binding cut out and I'm going to bias bind all the way around and on the cuffs as well. And I will have my Hava jacket number 2, which has this gorgeous lining. I've got to say the lining feels so nice against my arms. It's the first time I've tried it on with a top with no cover on the arms, and it feels very nice. I also made a belt, which I'm going to alter. I'm going to add some belt loops onto this. I made a belt. You can see I haven't finished it. That's my turn-in area. I'm going to make it much narrower, and I'm going to add the lining to one side so that I get the inside of the fabric peeking through. I feel like when I put the tie on it now, it makes it look like a dressing gown rather than a jacket. So I still got some work to do on this. I might even just add another tie like I did with the first one. If I add the tie with the inside fabric, that'll be nice and soft. You'll have the binding all the way around on the cuffs. It's squidgy. I love the weight of it, and I'm quite impressed that the woven lining actually works really well with the jersey quilted fabric on the outside. And I really, if I thought about it more in advance, I potentially could have made it reversible, but I would have to undo the arm so that I could quilt the inside of the arm to the outside, because that's what I'm going to do to the main bodice, is quilt them together. But I won't be able to do that. I should have attached them together beforehand. But in terms of how it's turned out, I am really happy with it, and I'm quite keen to carry on with this and get the bias on it. And do you know, the more I'm looking at it, the more I'm thinking, actually, I am going to go with a tie rather than the belt. I think it'll look nicer. So Hava number 2 is a good way towards being finished, and I'm going to keep it on because it's so snuggly. So just need to finish that quilted lines and get my bias on, then it's good to go. The next thing I'm going to do, and I think it is going to be the next thing I'm going to do, I have loved watching Sew Upcycle this year and taking part in it. I did finish the skirt, by the way, that I was making from the monsoon dress in the navy kind of checked fabric. I love it. I'll remember to put some photos in at the end. I did submit it, get it finished in time, and submitted it for the challenge. I added pockets. I used some of the bodice to make the waistband because I think that shirred bodice just looked so nice, and then I did add elastic inside of it just to make it a little bit snugger fit. But I love it. It's turned out really nicely. So yeah, I'll share that with you. And I was watching Sequin Girlie's versions of her Sew Upcycle, and she did a couple of things with jackets that she'd found in secondhand shops that I was like, that is so good. I want to replicate the one where she added a fabric on the inside of a hoodie and then cut out from the outside of the original hoodie to reveal. Now I have work tops that are, I have work hoodies that are just lovely quality with really soft, squidgy fabrics that I don't want to throw away. But it's actually got a massive logo on it for a project that the government doesn't fund anymore. And I don't want to waste it. I can't wear it anymore because this company doesn't exist anymore. It was wound up. But I want to somehow try and make a giant star that covers this, that I can cut out and reveal the star from the inside. That I think I want to attempt to do. And this oversized hoodie, I still wear it indoors, but I can't wear it out. I'm not allowed to because I'm just not allowed to. We're not commissioned to deliver that anymore. And yeah, I want to make this wearable because it is a really lovely quality hoodie. That's what I'm going to do. I am going to make this wearable, and I am definitely copying Sam's idea, which she'd found on Instagram from someone else who was doing, well, actually loads of people are doing it. And I just think, do it. Let's save this lovely hoodie in this really lovely orange. It's like, it was really bright orange. It's now more of a kind of autumny shade of orange where I've had some good wear from it. But I want to make that into something I can, excuse me, I can wear whether I'm indoors or outdoors. Yes, so that is my little experiment for this afternoon or this evening. I'm going to give it a go. And then I think we're all sorted. So I am going to stop rambling. I'm going to leave you there for now. And I will catch up with you next time. Take care. Bye.